Picture this, you are driving, and within a few minutes, your wife is already white knuckling that handle above the door, and she's repeatedly telling you what the speed limit is. She's pointing out pedestrians that you can clearly see, and she's doing deep sighs like she's trying not to lose it. Maybe sometimes she does lose it. If any of that sounds familiar at all, you have probably had the thought, I'm a grown ass man. I've been driving for more than half of my life. Stop telling me how to drive, which makes so much sense because you have clearly got this. Unfortunately, this dynamic can go on until the end of time unless you do something to change it. I am Lindsay. This is Loving with Intention. Let's dive right in so we can talk about how you can change it. So first, just imagine a nice drive together. You are getting along, you're listening to the radio, you're listening to a podcast, you're just chatting. There's no drama. You're driving. She's calm in the passenger seat. It's a good day. And maybe you're like, actually, I cannot imagine that. Well, if that is the case, it is a good thing that you are watching. We need to think about what tends to happen in the car. She makes a comment. Maybe you snap back, it's fine, or stop it, or I saw them. Maybe you say something like, you just drive next time. Maybe it turns into a full-blown argument. Whatever it is, by the time you reach your destination, the mood is low, you're annoyed, she's annoyed, you are carrying all of that energy forward. First, we really need to talk about what this isn't about. It's not about driving for either of you. Yes, that is absolutely part of it. And it might be what you both describe if you were sharing what the issue was. Unfortunately, though, if you try to change this pattern by talking about the fact that you know how to drive and that she needs to be okay with you driving, you two are just going to keep going in circles. The truth is, this goes so much deeper than driving. For one thing, both of your nervous systems are getting activated, which means you're in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. And if this has been a long time pattern, as you two are getting into the car, your nervous systems could already be getting dysregulated because they're used to this pattern. So it's like if somebody has a fear of flying, that's their nervous system reacting. And the stress, the worry, the anxiety, it doesn't just kick in when the flight takes off. It's present on the runway while they're waiting at the gate, the night before when they're thinking about it, maybe even when they bought the ticket. Their nervous system is already activated. So the same thing goes with tension in the car. You and your wife have done this so many times. So your nervous systems are like, here we go again, ready for the fight, ready to protect. So there's a good chance that before her first comment, you're both already a little bit dysregulated and you might not even notice it. It is so important to note that when we are regulated, we are open to hearing each other's perspectives. We can see each other more easily for our best intentions. We speak with more love and kindness. We have curiosity. We're open for connection. When our nervous systems start to activate, we think less clearly. We see tunnel vision. We lose the ability to see other perspectives. We actually lose access to empathy. And when we're in that protection mode, we really see each other like we have the worst intentions. So knowing all of that, it is no wonder that this situation escalates so quickly. So all wrapped up in these nervous system reactions, let's talk about what could be going on for both of you. It's so important for us to look here before we address what you can do about it. So say you're going a bit over the speed limit, or she sees somebody approaching the crosswalk and she isn't sure that you see them. She gets triggered, aka her nervous system gets a little activated, and then she has a tone with you. She makes a comment. She criticizes you. She keeps pointing out what you're doing wrong. These things are unhealthy strategies to get beautiful, valid needs met. And bless all of us humans, we all do this. We all do harmful relationship patterns in an attempt to get our needs met. Her needs might be for safety, for trust, security, stability, certainty, to know she can count on you, for predictability, for ease. These are all beautiful, valid needs. They all make so much sense. And when she criticizes you or points out what you're doing wrong, it actually pushes her away from the very thing she's wanting. Again, unhealthy strategy to try to get these needs met. Because think about it. If you're being criticized and feeling mistrusted, you're probably not like, oh, my sweet wife, she just wants to feel safe. She just wants to know she can trust me. She wants a sense of certainty here, so I'll lean into that. No, you're definitely not thinking that. Instead, what happens is you get triggered and you react with defensiveness, anger, frustration. You snap at her. Now, again, these reactions from you unhealthy strategies to get beautiful, valid needs met. You might have needs for respect, for her to trust you, for autonomy, to be known by her, to be known that you wouldn't put her in danger. But when your wife hears you snap back, she's not thinking, oh, my sweet husband, he just wants me to see his heart. He just wants me to trust that he's got my best interest in mind and that he'll keep me safe. No, she's not thinking that. And likely she's getting more triggered, and so are you, and the cycle continues. And the longer the cycle goes, the more and more it gets confirmed in our brains. I knew it. He doesn't care about me or my safety. He's selfish. And I knew it. She doesn't trust me. She doesn't think I can handle anything. She's always so rude. It's not fun. So what can we do here? First, comment roadmap below so I can share my free love journey roadmap with you. In this guide, one of the many things that you will find there is a list of universal human needs, and there's prompts on how to get curious about your needs and your wife's when you're doing hurtful things. This process is called Wonder and Look Under. I love it, and it's necessary to change these patterns. So comment roadmap for that. And what we can do right now is take what we've just walked through and reframe the goal. The goal isn't to get her to stop nagging about your driving, or the goal isn't to get you to drive in a more respectful way. The goal is to come to a place where you can both feel seen and heard and get some of those needs met. It's about the needs. Right now, I imagine you're both just really frustrated with each other. You probably see her as the nagging wife in the car, and she may see you as the husband who doesn't care. Instead, if you can get compassionately curious about her world and yours, this is where things start to shift. I recommend bringing this up outside of one of these moments. So say you're at home, you had a nice evening, and you say to her, I was just thinking about when we get stressed in the car, and I'm wondering about your experience. Does it feel unsafe for you? Invite her to share and create a safe landing space for her to do that, which means whatever she shares, see it as her experience. Even if you disagree, even if she says, you drive too fast and you're thinking, I'm only going 10 over. You asked a loving question, so you get to receive it with love. If going 10 over feels unsafe for her, that's her experience. It's valid. You could feel totally fine about going 10 over, and that's valid too. That's your experience. Both things are valid. But if you get caught in a battle of who's right and who's wrong when it comes to your needs and your experiences, it's a literal losing battle. So you can even say, I get why you're frustrated then if going 10 over feels really unsafe for you. Makes sense that you would get frustrated, because it does. And you might be thinking, well, if her experience makes sense and mine does too, then how can we possibly change things? It changes through hearing each other, through validating each other, stepping into each other's experiences. Imagine if she said to you, I can absolutely see why you get frustrated when I'm pointing out pedestrians. You've been driving for 40 years. You don't need to be told. Imagine how good that would feel. You might be way more likely to say back, I get why you point these things out. You're nervous because you're not the one behind the wheel. You just want to be sure that we're safe. This is how change happens. Once one person feels heard, they're way more likely to lean in with kindness and understanding. So knowing that you would do that, since you're the one watching right now, you're the one who gets to go first. And notice I said gets to. Loving with intention, ding, 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 is a choice. It is a conscious choice, a really powerful choice. It is a choice to move things in a new direction. When you do hear each other, validate each other, and appreciate each other, then it comes time to co-create an agreement around this. If it's around the speed, maybe after feeling seen and heard, she's like, okay, 10 over really isn't a problem. That's something I can totally handle. And you commit that you won't go over that. Or maybe you say, it's not a big deal for me to just do 5 over or go slower. I can totally do that for you. These kind of agreements happen after the hearing, the validating, the appreciating. When you know we're on the same team, this is my person, we're doing this together. It's getting out of the surface stuff about the driving and underneath to really seeing and hearing each other's experiences and what your needs are. And you can talk about boundaries too. Of course, there's a time and place also to talk about how it feels to be on the receiving end of her criticism and her pointing out what you're doing, quote unquote, wrong. When you approach this whole thing with love and see her for her best intentions, and know that you have your best intentions too when you're doing things that are probably hurtful to her, this is when things start to shift. And if you're driving and it's actually in the moment and she points out a pedestrian and you feel yourself start to get triggered, this is a perfect time to take a deep breath and say something like, I know you want me to be safe. Thank you. I promise I've got this. Everything that we've talked about today, it goes beyond arguments, as I've been lovingly calling them lately, because this same dynamic probably shows up for you in other areas, maybe parenting, finances, cleaning, decision making, learning to wonder and look under and approach things with compassionate curiosity, seeking to understand. It changes everything. Remember to comment roadmap below to start practicing wonder and look under, and you will get so much more inside the free guide as well. And rest assured that every couple, if they've been together long enough, has a repetitive cycle, just like the one that you two get into in the car. One of the first things that I do with couples and individuals is map out the cycle so they can really see what's happening and get their unique keys to getting out of that cycle. So if you experience this, you are not alone. And I appreciate that you might be thinking, she's the one who starts this. We're in the car. I'm just driving. She's the one who comes at me. Why do I have to get compassionately curious? Why am I the one who needs to lean in and think about her needs and think about my needs and do all of this work? Well, I could make this video for her and talk to her about what she could do, and I would be suggesting that she does the same thing. The only reason that I'm suggesting that you do it is because you're here, you don't like this experience, and this is how we start to change things. If you just come in hot with her and you're like telling her, I don't like this, you need to stop doing this, then you're going to just get caught in that same old cycle. This is an opportunity to do something different. It's not about you needing to go first, or that the man has to go first, or that the person on the receiving end of the criticism has to go first. This is about the fact that you are here, and this is an opportunity to lean in and do something that you have control over, which is your thoughts and how you show up. So your intentional action this week is to get really curious in this moment right now. See if you can drop into your heart and see your wife through loving eyes. Yes, she expresses her needs in unhealthy ways in the car, which isn't okay. And there are beautiful needs under there, just like you have when you do your hurtful behaviors. Can you get curious about her world in this moment, in your heart? This is a great place to start. And truly, if I made this video for a woman who's frustrated about her husband's driving, I'd be encouraging her to get into your heart and your world and see you through loving eyes and approach you from a softer place. It takes one person to go first. And you can check out the video on the screen where I share how one person can change a marriage. It is even backed by science. You have so got this. Thank you so much for being here. I am sending so much love into your day. Remember that nothing changes if nothing changes, so comment roadmap below, and let's have an intentional week.